If you're tired of trying to get a Rolex, then you've come to the right place, because I'm going to introduce you to a whole bunch of alternatives at different price points for each of the brand's most popular models. Let's get started. If you want to help the channel, please head on over to watchfinder.com and check out the thousands of watches for sale. Thanks. Can't get a Rolex Submariner? Here are 5 great alternatives from cheap to expensive. Number 1 is the Casio Duro at $70. It may be a quartz, but it's got 200 meters water resistance and a dive time bezel, just like a Submariner. Then there's the Halios Seaforth, a watch that packs in Submariner level spec at just $775. You can spec it with a sapphire bezel and even a Tiffany blue dial if you're feeling fancy. Third is the Tudor Black Bay 58, everybody's favourite Submariner default alternative. You can choose it in vintage tones, blue and even solid silver or gold, starting at around $4,000. Next is the Breitling Superocean 42 at $5,400, which borrows a lot of its looks from the golden years of dive watches, the 1960s. And last of all is Blacnpain's 50 Fathoms, the OG dive watch at $17,000. Rolex Daytona too hard to get? Try one of these 5 instead. From least to most expensive, there's the Seiko Prospex Speedtimer, an $800 quartz chronograph that's beautifully styled and well balanced. Second is the quartz Tag Heuer F1 Chronograph, a modern classic that's available in a range of bold colours. Next, you'll be unsurprised to see the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, the closest watch to the Daytona's DNA you can get at below $6,000. Then there's the watch that beat the Daytona to the moon, Omega's Speedmaster. Even to this day, it remains almost identical to the original, except the $8,000 price. At the top of the tree and closest to the Daytona's looks, it is the $12,300 Zenith Chronomaster Sport, which combines the Daytona's good looks with Zenith's legendary El Primero movement. Here are 5 great alternatives to the Rolex GMT-Master II, the watch for international travellers. Starting at the cheapest, there's the Baltic Aquascaphe GMT at $1,000, which adds an independent GMT hand to the Aquascaphe base. For number 2, it's the $1,700 Christopher Ward C65 Aquitaine GMT, a watch that's earned a reputation for providing quality way above its price point. In third is the Tudor Black Bay GMT, which shamelessly enjoys the Pepsi bezel coloration, being part of the Rolex Corporation. That's $4,500. Up next is Grand Seiko's Hokata Peaks GMT, which combines a rocky dial texture with the brand's famed spring drive technology for $7,300. And last is Omega's Seamaster Planet Ocean GMT in a fetching monochrome, priced at $10,100. Looking for an alternative to the Rolex Explorer? Here's 5, starting with the cheapest. It's the Smith's Everest PRS-25, made by the brand that actually peaked Everest on Edmund Hillary's wrist at $450. Next is the Sinn 556A, a $1,700 German watch with a pilot-inspired dial that's ready for anything. Third is the $3,300 Tudor Black Bay Ranger, the Explorer's sister watch, both back in the 1960s and now, with a history of being well-travelled. For $4,400, it's yet another Tudor, only this time the Black Bay Pro, inspired by Rolex's original Explorer II from 1971, with its distinctive orange 24-hour hand. Lastly, it's the unbelievably stylish Patek Philippe Calatrava 5226G, whose rugged good looks will set you back a cool $41,000. Can't fathom a Rolex Sea-Dweller? These 5 deep-sea divers are worth a look. At the cheaper end, it's the Tissot Seastar, clocking in an impressive 600 meters of water resistance for just $1,300. For a whopping 1,000 meters of water resistance, it's Seiko's $3,000 Prospex Professional Diver, nicknamed the Tuna for its can-like protective shroud. Inevitably, the Tudor Pelagos is here at $5,200, repping 500 meters of water resistance from its titanium case, followed by the Sea-Dweller's original adversary, the visually challenging but incredibly impressive Ploprof, with its 1,200 meter water resistance and $13,000 price tag. It's another Omega to round up with, the Planet Ocean Ultra Deep, capable of a 6,000 meter dive and costing an equally terrifying $14,800. The Rolex Sky-Dweller, too unobtainable? here are 5 annual calendars you can get, starting with the most affordable, the Longines Master Collection Annual Calendar, a $2,500 watch that can change its own date. Then there's the Carl F. Bucherer Heritage by Compax Annual, which adds a chronograph on top of the annual calendar for $8,400. The Omega Constellation Globemaster Annual Calendar offers the complication in a novel way with a point a month at $11,000, and likewise IWC's Big Pilot's Watch Annual Calendar has a triple month date and day display up top for closer to $16,500. For an elegantly Germanic approach to the annual calendar complication, it's the $35,000 Glashütte Original Panamatic Calendar with its big date and numerical month display. Can't get a Rolex Oyster Perpetual? Here are 5 alternatives to the classic watch, priced from low to high. At just $330, it's the Seiko 5 Sports, one of the most basic but still ultimately impressive Seikos you can get, with an automatic movement and 100 meters of water resistance. Up a rung at $1,050 is the Swiss-made Hamilton Khaki Field Murph, a rugged daily wear made famous by the Interstellar movie. The colourful and very elegant Oris Atelier S comes next at $2,050, a strikingly stylish entry into the three-hander watch category. For $3,400, it's the Nomos Club Sport Neomatic, a watch that somehow looks incredibly elegant, whilst also packing 200 meters of water resistance. Lastly, the Tudor Black Bay 39 at $4,200, because it is basically a Rolex Oyster Perpetual. Even the classic Rolex Datejust is hard to get. Check out one of these 5 if you don't want to wait. In the cheapest end is the $500 Lauria Astra, a watch that captures the zeitgeist of the Datejust era to a T. Second is the Christopher Ward C63 Automatic, challenging norms with its deep, shimmering mulberry red dial for $1,100. For a Japanese approach to telling the time and date, there's the Grand Seiko SBGH 201 with its high beat movement for $7,000. At just under $8,000, Omega's got the Seamaster Aquitaine Shades Edition, in any number of subtly judged colours. For a big bang, it's the Vacheron Constantin 56, whose time and date combo come together for a princely $15,500. Want but can't get Rolex's luxury diver, the Yacht-Master? Here are 5 you can get. At the affordable end is the Islander automatic dive watch at $329, with its sunburst blue dial and 3-dimensional bezel. Seiko power keeps it ticking. For $650, it's Seiko's Prospex Antarctica Save the Ocean, which combines icy fresh good looks with a penguin print dial. It's a jump to the $2,200 Oris Aquis date relief, which matches a familiar bezel with bright colours and a comfortable rubber strap. Next, Breitling's Superocean 42 in green and bronze takes the 300-meter diver to a new level of luxury. And finally, in honour of the 2024 Paris Olympics, it's the Omega Seamaster Diver 300 Olympics Special Edition, which combines steel and gold with a white ceramic dial for the ultimate in yacht-based luxury wristwear at $10,200. The new Rolex 1908 is impossible to get, but these 5 aren't. Right at the cheap end, we've got the $530 QO Royal Smith, a watch that combines simplicity and elegance with Japanese attention to detail. Second, from Longines' back catalogue, is the Heritage Classic Sector Dial, a $2,800 beauty that looks far better than its price would suggest. Jumping to $22,000 is the supremely elegant IWC Portuguese Automatic in gold, although you can pick up the steel one for $9,500. For something a bit different, it's the H. Moser Endeavour Vanta Black, a $29,000 watch with a dial painted in the world's blackest paint. Topping the selection at $32,500 is the classic watch that started it all, the Patek Philippe Calatrava 6119R, complete with its iconic hobnail bezel pattern. Those are my suggestions. What watches would you switch out for a Rolex? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to support the channel, please do like and subscribe, and browse all the best watches over at watchfinder.com.